So, my dear students, once again, continuing with our chapter journal, today I am going to explain you rules of debit and credit, the most important concept of accountancy, which you would be continuing till you are in this field. Class 12th also, in your graduation also, in your post-graduation also, everywhere. This is the most important concept which everybody should know. There are two approaches: American approach or English approach or traditional approach. Today I would tell you about the rules of debit and credit according to American, or you can say modern approach. According to this, the different accounts, they are classified into 5 types. Which I have explained you today, which I have told you today, yesterday. Clear, CLEAR, note down. Everybody simultaneously, please note down. Clear. Clear stands for I hope you all are able to see the board clearly. C stands for capital, and you all know what is capital. L stands for liability. E stands for expenses and losses. R stands for revenue and income. And last, A stands for assets. These are the 5 different types in which different accounts are classified. Different accounts are classified or divided into these 5 types, or these are the 5 types of nature of accounts. All the accounts can be classified into these 5. All the accounts. There are different types of assets. So all the assets will be included in it. There are different liabilities. All the liabilities will be included in it. Capital is the initial investment in the form of cash, goods, or any other service at the time of commencement of business. Similarly, all the expenses and losses, wages paid, rent paid, commission, interest, insurance, electricity bill, cartage, all these are expenses paid by the firm. So they are classified in this expenses. There can be different losses also, like depreciation is a loss in the value of asset, loss by fire, loss by theft. All these will be included in this E, expenses and losses. Then there is R stands for revenue. Revenue is inflow of cash in the firm, inflow of cash. Whenever cash comes to the firm, it is revenue. Or you can also say inflow of cash or any benefit to the firm, which is also known as income. Revenue or income is same. These are the 5 different nature in which all the accounts can be classified. Each and every account should find its place in one of these nature. in one of these types, any account, when we do any transaction in accounting equation, as you have seen, when we do any transaction in any business transaction, there are at least minimum 2 accounts which are affected. That is why it is double entry system. Double entry system, in which minimum 2 accounts will be affected by any transaction. Whatever be the transaction, it is sure that there would be 2 accounts which would be affected, and in those 2 accounts, one account would be debited and other account will be credited. It is also for sure any one account will be debited and the other account will be credited. If both the accounts are getting debited, if both the accounts are getting credited, it means you are applying wrong rule. It means you are applying wrong rule. It is for sure. It is sure that it is compulsory that in any business transaction, the 2 accounts debited or credited, the 2 accounts would be of the same amount, in which one account will be debited and another account will be credited. It is very much sure in it. You will follow the rule of debit and credit by classifying different accounts into these 5 types. Into these 5 types. I hope all of you have copied. Please raise your notebook like this in front of your camera. Please raise your notebook and show me like this what you have copied. Very good. Tamanna over, Bilal, Priya, Arjun has shown, Sujal. Okay, everybody show me. Piyush, sorry, Prince, show your notebook. Shruti over, Akshay over, Pushpreet over. Okay, all those who have shown has come into the record. Now what is the rule of debit and credit, or how do we generalize the things? How do we generalize the things? Revenue and income. Copy down like this. Number 1, asset. Number 2, expense and losses. This plus and minus. Plus for increase, minus for decrease. This plus for increase and minus for decrease. Plus is for increase, minus is for decrease. This is the format. Now be very careful and attentive, as I have made this table for you. Assets and expenses. Assets and expenses. If they increase, we will debit the account. Assets and expenses, if they increase, we will debit the account, and if they decrease, we will credit the account. This is the rule. This is the rule, that assets and expenses or losses, if they will increase, we will debit it, and if they will decrease, we will credit it. Opposite. And all these three, capital, liability and revenue, capital, liability and revenue, I have put together. These are just opposite. If they increase, we will credit. All these three, capital, liability, revenue, if they will increase, we will credit, and if they will decrease, we will debit. This rule of generalizing or rule of debit and credit, each and every child has to remember as a formula, as a rule, as a formula. You have to remember it. I will ask you time and over again, what is the rule of debit and credit? Then you have to explain me this. On the basis of these 5 types, the accounts are classified in the 5 types, and assets and expenses are debited for increase. These both assets and expenses, for increase we debit them, and for decrease we credit them. Then you would tell me, sir, capital, liability and revenue, capital, liability and revenue, they are credited for increase. Means if they increase, we credit them, and if they decrease, we debit them. This is the rule. Credit for increase, debit for decrease. But these 3 things, capital, liability and revenue or income. On the other hand, assets and expenses are debited for increase, debited for increase. We will debit the account, and we will credit the account if the asset or expenses decrease. This is all for today. Today I would only give you this particular rule, which is very, very important. Each and every child must learn this rule, and you have to do the journal entries on the basis of this particular rule. It is easier than the another method, so I am giving you first this method. All of you will do journal entries on the basis of this particular approach, which is American approach, and we will do our journal entries on the basis of this approach. The other approach I would tell you afterwards, once we are through with the chapter. If anybody want to ask anything, you are most welcome. Within 5 minutes, you can ask if you have any doubt. First of all, please copy all these things, because when I upload this class in the YouTube, then the board is less visible there, right? then you can get the lecture there, the explanation there. But please, right now, because my screen is visible on your phone, so it is, I think, visible very clearly. So you just copy down, or you can also take a picture of it, copy down this whole thing, and you can later on watch the video and correlate with it. Anybody want to ask anything regarding this, regarding whatever is explained? If all of you have understood, you can raise your hand like this. Only the rule I am talking about. If all of you have got the rule, you raise your hand like this. Means to say that you have understood it. Everybody, Ishika, haven't you got it? Sanjana, you have to raise your hand like this so that it is understood that you have got it. Okay. Okay. Okay, beta, hands down. I got it that majority of you have got it. Almost all have raised the hands. It's good. If there is any problem, you can also ask it. Now, if you have written all these things, I would like to tell you how to generalize the things, how to make journal entries applying this particular rule. How many of you have completed accounting equation? How many of you have done accounting equation? The previous chapters. Yeah. Okay. So my dear students, you all know that in a business transaction, there are always minimum two accounts which are debited or credited. One of the account will be debited and the other account will be credited. So when this happens, we have to find in every transaction which are the two accounts which are affected. Which are the two accounts which are affected. This is the first step. All of you take very attentively this point which I am explaining you. This would be the process. This would be the step to be taken to generalize a particular transaction. That first step would be to identify the accounts involved in a business transaction. This would be the first step. Second step would be to see that account belongs to which particular type. These are the nature of accounts. These are the nature, 5 types or 5 nature of account in which every account would fit. Every account would fit. Once you have found the nature of account, then most important step is you have to find whether it increases or decreases. Whether it is increasing or decreasing. This is the third step. And the fourth step is you apply the rule of debit and credit. According to the nature of the account, it is increasing or decreasing, you would apply the rule of debit and credit. Then you have to write the amount of the account. Amount. Now, for example, it would be better you take an example and then see how it is applied. A very simple transaction I would take. Purchased furniture for cash. purchased furniture for cash. This is our business transaction. Purchased furniture for cash. Purchased furniture for cash worth rupees 50,000. 50. This is our business transaction. Now everybody pay attention. 5 steps you have to take to see which account will be debited, which account will be credited, and what we will write in our books of journal. How will we record in our books of journal? First one, you see, what are the 2 accounts in this transaction? Which are the 2 accounts involved in the transaction? Purchased furniture for cash. इसमें 2 अकाउंट है. एक है आपका फर्नीचर, the second one is cash. First account is furniture, second account is cash. इन्हीं 2 चीजों पे अफेक्ट हो रहा है. The effect of this transaction is on these 2 accounts, furniture and cash. This is step number 1. Step number 2, we have to classify them in those 5 types. Fit these 2 accounts in the types. What type they are? That is known as nature. Furniture is asset. Cash is also asset. Furniture is also asset and cash is also asset. Step number 3. Step number 3. Whether they are increasing or decreasing. If we are purchasing furniture, it means furniture is coming into the business. It is increasing. But we are paying for the furniture, it means cash is going out of the business. Cash is decreasing. Furniture is coming into the business and cash is going away from the business. Furniture is coming in means increasing. Cash is going away means decreasing. Now you apply the rule. Now you apply the rule of debit and credit. Asset increasing means debit and cash decreasing means credit. Furniture asset increasing debit, cash asset decreasing credit. Amount of transactions would be same. Amount of debit would be amount of credit. Now in this particular transaction, what you have observed? You have observed that in this particular transaction, there were two accounts, furniture and cash. Step number 1, identify the accounts. Number 2, identify the nature of those accounts. Both are asset. Furniture is also asset, cash is also asset. Furniture is increasing, cash is decreasing. And next, the important step, apply the rule. Asset increasing is debit, asset decreasing is credit. So in this particular transaction, furniture account is debited and cash account is credited. Furniture account is debited and cash account is credited, which is the most important thing we have found out. In every transaction, if you can find out correctly which account is debit and which account is credit, this is all what we call as generalizing. And today we have found that the rule of debit and credit and the method in which it should be applied. So first of all, you would do all your questions in your rough notebook in this method, applying this method of generalizing. This is the process. These are the steps you would do to know which account is debited or credited. You need not cram all these transactions. Need not cram, beta. You cannot cram or learn all the transactions. You have to apply the rule of debit and credit in this systematic order. Please note it down properly. These 5 steps. Step number 1, identify the account. Step number 2, classify into nature, different type. Find out increase or decrease. Apply the rule and write the amount. In this way, you have to do the questions. That's all for today. Still we have 6-7 minutes. You just copy down it. I will also take a pic and I will take your attendance also. So everybody be on the cameras. I would take the attendance also. Keep your cameras on. If you are not there, it would not be recorded. Copy it. Tomorrow I would explain you further, and all those who have still not joined the classes, please inform them that they are losing so many things. Afterwards, it would be a problem for them. Today we have done the most important thing, rule of debit and credit, rules of generalizing. And I hope all of you have copied all the things, have understood. If there is any problem in solving the questions, you can ask. There are many things in this chapter which I would tell you in the coming classes, but for the time being, you copy this. That is all for today, and I hope you will do your work sincerely.